Kirby, 2 days into the week, just how's practice been so far this week?
It's been good. Good temperatures. Guys working hard. You're a little ahead on the game plan from a normal game week, and getting ready to take on a Wednesday game plan for tomorrow.
Yeah, Coach, you guys have been pretty dominant in week one, beating opponents by an average of about 28 points. Is there a root cause as to why your team seems so prepared for that first game of the season?
Yeah, I don't know. It's usually depends on who we're playing, what kind of team we've got back, what kind of team they got back. Preparation has been the same each year. We don't change what we do based on who we play. We try to do a good job preparing just as the teams we play do. So I don't have a real good explanation for that. It's a lot about the players that are out there playing.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you about the job that Peanut has done, so far this fall camp, the dynamic he brings, and is he giving Coach Boba like a bunch of different options as far as ways how to use him this fall?
I think he's trying to become a complete back. He's very unique because I think people would think that he is a wide receiver back because of his speed, but that's not really what he is. He's one of the best vision backs we have. He runs bigger than his size indicates. He's explosive in and out of holes. I think when you look at backs, one of the first things you look at is how fast can they get in and out of holes, because holes tend to close really fast in this league especially. So he does that well. He's still developing toughness, and his ability to pass protect has become better, and he's got to continue to work on that. But he'll tell you every day he's a work in progress, but there's nobody more fun to work with. He's very humble, and he's very fun to be around, and he's gotten a lot better since he got here.
Coach, we know you put a lot of priority on the special teams. Both of your gunners from last season moved on. Can you tell us about who's in contention for that role, and what are you looking for out of that competition?
Yeah, they got big shoes to fill, man. Those two guys, Dom and Arian, were elite gunners. We've got it kind of by committee right now with a lot of guys working towards it. And, we'll see who wins the job. Cole Spear's done it a lot. London's done it a lot. Obviously, speed is a factor, but toughness and getting off blocks is a key factor. Those two guys have worked hard. KJ Bolden's worked hard. Talon Taylor's worked hard. We'll have 4 or 5 guys that can work there for us.
Coach, I'm not sure what the injury situation is, what you're able to share with us right now. And then my second part of my question is about, we hear so much about fast starts, and I don't know, you said a lot of goals. Is that a priority, or is that something that you challenge your offense with?
Well, I don't know why it would be reserved for the offense, right? I mean, why would it not be a kickoff return team or a kickoff team or a defensive unit? I mean, I don't put fast starts on one unit. I think every coach in America would love a fast start. It's like the most trivial thing ever said. Like, why would you not like a fast start? So it is a lot more indicative of a team that can start fast, finish strong. I've seen teams that started fast, didn't finish, and I've seen teams that didn't start fast and did finish. It's every team takes on a different trait, but obviously that's the goal, is to start fast and execute.
Yeah, Kirby, how did you see Chris Cole, go about his second off season with the program, and just what does he bring to that linebacker room?
He works really hard. He's got great toughness. He's got great length. He can play multiple positions. He plays all over the field for us, and he's just a joy to work with. He's a note taker, student of the game. When you talk about successful people, they have pride in their performance, and he has a lot of pride in his performance, and I respect that.
Coach, what's the one thing that a new player, whether it be a freshman or a transfer, could do by the end of the season to make you say that they had a positive impact on the program?
Their job. Their job. We don't make it much more complicated than do your job, and that's the freshman or a transfer that comes in. Don't try to do too much. Do what's asked for you. Be a positive, impact somebody every day in a positive way, and we list the PFE traits, and we try to get guys to have that persona, and those are things that I think are important for those guys.
Are there any characteristics of a Tony Gibson coach defense that you've seen when you've studied them?
Yeah, aggressive, relentless to stop the run. going to take care of their gaps, run to the ball, just aggressive, whether it's run blitz aggressive or pass pressures on third down. Not afraid to zero you out, tackle well, leverage the ball well, play perimeter screens well. I mean, they do a really good job.
Hi, Hartley was talking a little bit earlier about how Lawson has that it factor in terms of leadership. How have you seen him step up in his time here?
Yeah, he's grown confidence. He's been around good players. He's seen guys lead that room. He was that way at Norcross. You know, he was a leader. He's been a leader in his own home, and he's just a great kid. He's not afraid to confront and demand guys, and he's not afraid to speak up. So I'm really proud of Lawson's growth and who he's becoming as a man.
I imagine Saturday is going to be special for Coach Donnan. When you think back to playing for him, are there lessons that you feel like you took from him and when you became a coach kind of implemented in how you went about your job?
Yeah, I learned a lot from Coach Donnan in terms of motivating, and I didn't really get to coach for him. I was here 1 year. I played more under him as a player, and always appreciated the way he approached the game with us. Always positive, always upbeat. Always believed we were going to win every game, and he exuded confidence in the team. His management of the team was really critical, even at times when times were tough. I thought he did a great job of that, and that's some of the things I've learned from him.
Coach, I know that you're focused ahead, but a little bit more on Coach Donnan. As I understand it, didn't he create a position? I thought I heard a podcast where you were talking about getting cut and driving all the way back here in the middle of the night. Can you maybe go over a little bit of that story, how he hired you in your return to Athens?
Yeah, I don't know the specifics of how it went down. It was so long ago. It was around this time, actually. It was the preseason was over in the NFL in that year, which I don't know how many preseason games we played. Must have been 3 or something. But I got cut around this time and packed all my stuff up and drove back from Indianapolis and came back to Athens. Didn't really have a job, didn't really have a plan. Was going to talk to some people about some finance jobs, and he just called me in and said, look, I've got an administrative assistant. It's not even a graduate assistant. Those are all filled, and they were already, into the first game, getting ready to play the first game. And he just said, look, you can be an administrative assistant, come in and work. We'll put you to work, find a role for you, and you help recruit. You work around here. And I didn't have much going on, so I dove in and did it for the season. I think it was right until Y2K. It was 99 to 2000, right when we played in the Outback Bowl, I think, that year down in Tampa against Drew Brees and those guys. And then I got a job at Valdosta State. But I spent a year doing that, and I learned a lot about breaking down tape and just, the things you have to do that are not the glorious things to do at coaching.
Coach, last year you called this team resilient, a ton. What do you think this personality of this team, have you started to see the seeds of this team starting to have its own personality? And, when do you kind of want to see that start to take shape?
Yeah, I want it to take shape right now. I don't know what that is just yet, just like I didn't know last year. You don't really know until you hit a lot of adversity. The adjective right now that I've seen is hungry. And that's the one that you seek most, the fire, passion, energy, the new guys getting an opportunity. I hope that continues to pronounce itself. I want to see more of that. But, it's hard to tell without playing the game.
I want to ask about two players. Malachi Toliver, how was he with his injury that you had mentioned a couple weeks ago? And then Josh Horton, how has he come along as he's gotten acclimated to the program?
Yeah, Malachi's working himself back. He's back doing individual drills and running and moving and snapping. He has not been in team drills. We hope to get him back in those next week. Josh has stayed healthy through camp, which is a big accomplishment for him. That was a big goal of his to push through and avoid injury, which he did. He's worked really hard. He's in a rotation with the defensive line group competing, and I'm proud of his work. He hadn't shut it down. He hadn't shied away, and that's a big point. Is availability is one of the best abilities you can have, and he's done that. He's become a dependable player for us.
Elaborating a little more on the hungry term, what specifically are you seeing that makes you use that word?
I would say the day-to-day practice environment, the guys who haven't played, and maybe guys who have but haven't been in leadership roles. And you see it in the energy of the tape and how they go about their business on the tape.
Just asking again about Brett Thorson. Any more updates on him?
He punted in some punt situations today, and I don't know yet that he's going to be cleared to. He's cleared to kick, but there's more to it than kicking. It's like the way he got injured, right? He's got to get cleared to that point, and I don't know if we're to that point yet. But he's kicking in action now.
Speaking of NFL cut day, a couple of your former guys got good news today. Chad Chambliss found out he made the Vikings, and Nazir found out he made the Packers. I mean, those two guys were here a long time for you. I mean, to see them get this chance, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I was proud. I texted with both of them today as we were getting ready to go to the field and reached out to both of them. They certainly earned it the hard way, and I wouldn't expect anything less out of those two guys because they're workhorses, man. They played a lot of football around here. They're tough. They're hard-nosed. They're dependable. I'd love to have them in any organization that I would be in because of their work ethic and what they stand for. So I'm glad that got an opportunity to pronounce itself to everybody else because I know what kind of kids those are and how hard they work, And, there's a lot of kids that played here that also got let go today that maybe played years ago or have timed out. And, the message to them is simple. Football does not define who you are. And I remember being lost in that moment and not knowing what I was going to do. And you got to pick yourself back up and get to work and decide what you want to do if football's over. And that's a critical time in kids' lives when they have to pick up and move on.
We have another question for Coach Smart. Okay, Coach, thank you.
Thank y'all.